Welcome to our weekly update. Table tennis table. These are our 4 struts that we're having trouble with one of them. I've got a new driver and string limit setting that is being sent out from overseas, so we've still got to play with that and get that working properly. The 3 shoji tiered ceilings, internal, black, tiered over 3 sort of levels above a TV area. They go into a job on Wednesday. Today's Monday, so they're ready to go. Our truck doors are completed, so they're all sanded up and shaped and edged, ready to go. The old Maranaka, she's a sling. We took her into the exhibition buildings in the city. We exhibited at Design Decor last week. So this was front and center in the booth, and we had some shavings around her. So that was good fun. The Sydney curved, concave, arched racking is coming along. We've got the arched ends happening now, which we can show you next door. This was the jig for shaping them and getting the you know, all the right shapes and laminated up. Table tennis table, you know, big large format, the wormy chestnut. We've dominated that up through the middle, and we've put a coat over all areas just to seal it, hold it straight. We've got brass inlays to do on the perimeter and down the middle, and then final cut the size. We've got some steel plates to embed in the back, which will then connect to those hydraulic lifters. So this is progressing with the inlays. We'll be setting up with the shaper origin and the tape dominoes, so we can plot the whole space and then route it with precision, and get that sorted, and then that's very close to being completed, and it'll be exciting to show you the finished product there. Some shoji screens. This was a display we did at the exhibition buildings, Design Decor. We had our shoji cellar, so 6 layers of shoji with the light box, and you'll see that in the next factory, and also there's a separate video just on setting up and preparing yourself for an exhibition and just our experiences in doing so. A little mock-up for a client where we're looking at some divisions between spaces, like a little sideboard. So that's just a mock-up so they can get a sense of how that works in their space. This is an interesting project. This is wormy chestnut again. We're doing a little display window between a main room and a boardroom, and our love of ikebana and that seasonal showcase of a cutting or a flower arrangement. We've got a box that cuts through the area, so you can get light and view lines from the main work area through to the boardroom. In the back of that, we've got switchable glass, so that's ordered. So it's a glass that you can see through. Normally you can flick a switch and it goes opaque, so it gives you privacy between the spaces. This box is rectangular in dimension, and then it has a removable fascia on the front, which sits on with magnets. And then the bottom section we have a stainless formed tray with almost like an ink well, but a water well to take the stem. And the idea there is you can grow a branch or a cherry blossom or something that's in season, or new growth. You can put that into the display. You've got that water well to sit it in and position it, and you've got the water to give it to help it last for a period. but you can also take the tray out and wash it and clean it. So this is a nice little piece. There's actually some drawings here, which I can show you. So that's that's a elevation view. There's a boardroom door here and two main offices, and this is the alcove through, 1380 by 525 high. That's sort of our little detail. So we'll have a water well which will sit in the wall line, a little stainless tray that sits up against the glass line, and you'll have gravel in there, and your stem sits down in here. You can lift this up and take it out, and obviously taking this freeze section off will enable that for easy access. And then you've got your glass in here, which is switchable, and then we've got our plaster wall coming down, and we'll have you could have a P50 or a stopping bead. We're just having a stopping bead here, so it just feels like it's cut through the wall. That's a sort of close-up section of that detail. You've got all that 32mm material. This front removes with magnets, and then we've got a 19mm base, and then the remaining dimension is the gravelled stainless tray, and that sits up against your switchable glass. That was working out glass sizes that had to be ordered early on, get that happening, and then everything else has been built around that. So that's an interesting one. This is a mitered timber section that sits between the two arms, or the two legs on the tennis table, and they lock in and secure both feet in position. It also gives it a feed for the cable tray between. You've got a connection point to plug in the table to lift those lifters, and this gives you the cable tray to get feeds across to the other leg, and also just secures and positions the two main legs. So it's been made up. On the floor over here, these are our curved ends and tops for the main Sydney rack. So that sits on the end of the rack. Got a scarf joint here, but that comes up, curves, and then curves. So it's some pretty interesting curves going on there. If you come down low and through here, you can get just a sense of and feed through, but you can just see some pretty cool shapes going on there, and quite a complex little rack. So it's coming together. The two scarf joins here obviously join on that top section across the top, so you'll see that in place in the coming weeks. This is our modular oak wine racking. We mass produced this, but it's a half check into the end of a oak peg, and then the rails are half mortised, and then sanded up. So that's it's all single pocket. Great economical way of storing wine, and beautiful look with all solid timber. So that's like a little inset for a cabinet. So that's done and ready to go out. Big tidy up required. We had that exhibition which we madly prepared for last minute, and everything's come back, and we're still got to have a bigger clean up and put things away. That's our dust bin from the rear dust extractor, bagged and taped, ready. That's getting picked up tomorrow. Gets kept stored at the front. The pod, you may have checked out the pod video, but if you haven't, Japanese inspired pod, 11 metres by 3.5, hidden bathroom, A lot of Japanese materials and aspects. Got a traditional tatami room for sleeping, pull-out bedding on the floor, Murphy bed option if you wanted it, pull-out little side lights in shoji, pivoting island bench, hidden door here through into the bathroom, and then we've got glass tiles with 200 lights behind tiles, mirrored ceiling, round skylight and pedestal basin with a pendant lighting with water that comes out the main fitting. So check that out. That's might be of interest. And then this was our exhibition. This was our main rear display. So it was two of our shoji wine racking, so multi-layers of shoji racking, 100mm centers, 6 screens offset, and the last one with paper and backlit with LED lighting. They pulled in together and give you quite a dramatic backdrop. So that was an interesting experience. There's another video on the exhibition experience. We had a last-minute opportunity to exhibit, and I think we had like a little bit less than 2 weeks to pull it all together. So there's a video just talking about that process and planning and bring it together and then exhibiting and how it went. And if you're thinking about that, we've thought about it for a long time, and we've looked at advertising and different aspects to sort of grow and maintain our business. And it's hard to work out where to put your advertising dollar. So that's a new experience, but we'll talk a bit more about that and check that out. This was a stillage that we made for our walls. So we've got we had 2 booths opposite each other, 3 meters by 3 meters. So we had each wall had 3 panels. So I'm just adding that up. That's 18 panels in here, all ready to go with domino connections, and we had a top and bottom rail. This was a forklift lift. Our trailer meant you didn't have to drop the sides. You could come in with a forklift and lift that off and roll the runners under it so you could manoeuvre it around. So it's all just been brought back and dropped. We've got to have a bit of a tidy up and put things away, and but we are ready for if there's any other future opportunities for exhibiting. We're a little bit more set up to do that at short notice. So that's a bit of a wrap up for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.